What it do, what it do, what it do, good people. Coming to you live from TazTv 410. I'm your host, Taz. I ain't even trying to hold you long. No, it's Black History Month, and I'm going to give you some history. Today, I'm talking about Coach Ball Wade, people. Yes, indeed. The legendary Ball Wade, Dunbar Ball Wade, Morgan State Ball Wade, NFL Ball Wade. Yes, I'm talking about him, right? Now, listen here. Before we even, I'm not here to talk about his achievements and his awards right now. I'm here to talk about, in this video, because we're going to get to his awards and his achievements and him being the first black head coach in the ACC. We'll get to that. We'll get to that. But I wanted to know about the kid. I wanted to know about the young man that grew into the man that we see today. Now, people, I had to go back because I said, you know what? Coach Wade played underneath the great Sugar Kane, right? Sugar Kane stated in one of his articles. Listen, sometimes it's bigger than basketball. It's about the kids and the well-being of the kids, them having a future. Now, listening to my uncles, my father and them, that's what Coach Wade, because they played underneath Coach Wade. That's what they preached that he said. So I was just curious and wondering. I said, oh, he coached under the great Sugar Kane. You know, now people talk about Sugar Kane. They talk about Sugar Kane just like they talk about Coach Wade. Now let me tell you this: it ain't no Coach Wade without Sugar Kane. But it ain't no Sugar Kane without Coach Earl Banks from Morgan. Now I'm saying these guys' names, right? I'm saying these guys' names because these guys, they all had the same type of mentality as far as with their players and with their coach. I mean, with their players and with their well-being of their players, right? I listened to Coach Sugar Kane. Well, I read it when Coach Sugar Kane said it, and then I looked at a couple articles of Coach Earl Banks. You know what I'm saying? Now listen here, because a lot of us don't know about Coach Banks at Morgan State, right? A lot of us don't. We don't. Coach Ed Banks, a lot of us don't, right? But he was, listen here, if they talk about Alabama and things of that nature, listen here, man. On a collegiate level, the man had he had 178 games, 47 of them lost, 17 ties. You know, won a conference, what's that? Something like the Orange Bowl. It was 2 bowl games that they won. Win 31 games undefeated. Check. Now, this at the same time when Coach Wade was on the team. Now, follow me, because I'm going to jump around just a little bit. Just a little bit. Now, Coach Wade, he go to Dunbar, right? Three-sport athlete. All Metro. Now, all Metro. Played JV. He moved up to varsity for his senior year, right? Under Coach Kane. Now, Coach Kane, he stated he liked to throw the ball. I'm reading the article, and it's Coach Wade and another guy battling out for the position. Now, I could believe this me just talking. I felt as though that, all right, Coach Kane knew who he wanted to be his quarterback. However, he stated in the paper that the battle was close and the other guy was leading because he was throwing the ball better. Which it could be factual. However, Coach Wade ended up starting those 2 years. It was good, all Metro, check. He played basketball, 11 rebounds, probably was out there hacking and things of that nature. Played baseball, basketball, and football, right? Check. Go up to Morgan State. Go up to Morgan State as a quarterback. Had to battle it out. He ain't win this battle. However, I bet you he wanted to be on the floor. So what did he do? They switched him over. He switched over to cornerback. At this time, listen here, he's still 6'3", corner. 6'3" corner, made All-American. Yes, he did. Made All-American 2 years in a row. Get drafted to the Colts. Check. Now, people, when I say this man played underneath some legendary coaches, he did. He did. You know what I'm saying? Coach Banks, Coach Sugar Kane, they discipline first. They discipline first. Academics, you know, so it's not just they want you to play on their team. They want you to be accountable for your actions. You know, they grooming you to be men. You know, at this time. However, he get drafted to the coach. Guess who's coaching the coach at this time? Don Shula. Don Shula was the one. His team went undefeated. They won a championship for the Dolphins. Check. Is it the 77 Dolphins? I forget. Well, anyway, it was the Dolphins. Check. So he played underneath for him. He gets traded. He get traded to Pittsburgh. After he get traded to Pittsburgh, he get let go. Now at Pittsburgh, he hurt his knee in Baltimore with the coach Don Shula. He get traded and go to Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh. Now he started. I know he started a game. So I'm gonna say he started a few games at cornerback, right? But his knee was still messed up. He go to Washington. Now he playing underneath the great Vince Lombardi. Now Vince Lombardi coached the Packers. Y'all follow me? He coached the Packers. The legendary he coached the Packers at the beginning of the thing. Vince Lombardi. Kids, if you don't know who he is, Google him now. All right? If you don't know who any of these people are, Google him now. All right? Google him right now. So boom. He had a chance to go over there to Denver, but he stayed. He ain't want. I want to say he went over there. Some people say he went there. Some people say that's when he decided to come back home and start coaching. Check. And being part of the community. Now, when he came home, he was the AU coaches and things that nature. You should see some of the AU teams that he had, man. You should see some of them. I mean, listen, man. The greats. You should see some of the, man. Well, that's a whole nother story. That's a whole nother story. So he goes up to Emerson, right? Shout out to them guys over West Baltimore. You go to Emerson and coach for 4 years. Now, this is when things get a little funny. This things get a little, Now, what I mean by that, you had Coach Kane, at this time, Coach Kane getting up in age, right? I want to say this probably his 33rd year, so he's retiring the following year. He's retiring. So before he retired, though, Emerson and Dunbar played against each other. Now, before the season, the reporters asked Coach Wade, how do you feel about the upcoming season? And Dunbar, he stated, well, there's going to be a lot of upsets this year, right? He didn't say we're going to upset Dunbar. He just said it's going to be a lot of upsets this year. Check. So I'm pretty sure, this is me just thinking. So when they played Dunbar, they lost, check. They was down 10 points at halftime, and then Dunbar opened it up on them. So after the game, they asked Coach Kane, how you feel about the game? And what he stated like, man, I'm frustrated at my players because I felt as though that we should have got him out of there in the first half. Like he wanted to blow Coach Wade out on the low, right? So I'm like, I bet he read that article and took it that way. Like, anyway, we will talk about that a little later, cause we gonna get to that a little later. Now, Coach Kane retires. Now you have Coach Archie Richardson fill in at Dunbar. Now, Coach Richardson, he was under Coach Kane for more than 20 years, and he was a teacher down at Dunbar. So when it was time for them to select another athletic director, Mrs. Woodard, at the time was Dunbar high school coach. So what she did was she hired Coach Wade. Coach Wade at this time is 28, 29 years old. So she stated she wanted to go with the younger guy, right? Because she felt as though that he was closer to the kids. Check. So now this was the big thing, people. When I say it was so big, Coach from Forest Park, they sued. They ain't sued. They went to court. They went to court to fight the ruling, right? Fight the decision on her picking the AD, right? This is one. This was the coach from my Forest Park. So the courts ruled that Mrs. Woodard, Principal Woodard, she could pick whoever she want to choose to be the athletic director. So now you had Dunbar ruled they won. Now you got Coach Richardson. He stated that he felt some type of way. because on how they handle situation. And he was still teaching down at Dunbar. At this time, they did the zoning. They realigned the zoning as far as with the schools and things of that nature. So they sent Coach Richardson to another school. Now, Coach Richardson didn't like that at all. He like, man, why you just, I ain't had to go to another school because I done did 20 years here at Dunbar. So why I had to go somewhere else? So he figured that, oh, Mrs. Woodard just want to clean house, right? So she cleaned house. Coach Wade ended up being the athletic director and basketball coach. Now, when he got the team, I'm gonna slide. Let me rewind a little bit. Before he got the team, his fourth year, they played against Archie. They played against Dunbar. His fourth year, they beat Dunbar. Before he came down Dunbar, they won. They beat Dunbar, right? Now, mind you, after they beat Dunbar, he get the job down there. They asked him, he was elated, he was happy, that he got the Dunbar, he was able to come back east because that's where his roots at, over East Baltimore. He felt as though he could help the kids more, you know what I'm saying, and more over there. Check. Man. See. My opinion, I feel as though that if Archie could have if they'd have beat Emerson, he might have had a job, at least for the next year. I mean, he might have had a job. But since that he lost, that was like the icing on the cake, icing on the cake. So that was something. Now, I ain't even gonna tell you who was on the Emerson staff. They had I'm at Maryville right now, right? When I met Coach Woody, he was coaching at Maryville, head coach at Maryville. At this time, Coach Wade, and it was always close. All of them was close. So at this time, Coach Wade go to Dunbar. Coach Woody goes to Lake Clifton. Lake Clifton already a power at this time. Coach Charlie Moore, that went to Lake Clifton, ended up coaching at Lake Clifton. I don't know if he went to Carver first, or he went to Lake Clifton that year or a couple years afterwards. I don't remember. And you still had, I think, the great Pete Pompey over there on his staff, right? Now, mind you, these coaches, they used to play 40 and over, just like we do today. I don't play, but my guys play, right? 40 and over league. So they pretty close. They pretty close. So Coach Wade, he get the team. Skip Wise has already gone down to Clemson. He left with the All-American Larry Gibson. Now, Larry Gibson was the first player that went to Maryland. Yeah, out of Baltimore. He got a scholarship to go to Maryland, right? We're going to get there. And he had the great Calvin Maddox. And he also had, let me see, it was another player also, too. Lawrence Huntley and Steve Wallace, right? Now, mind you, those guys, you come from Sugarcane, Archie, I'm pretty sure everybody was still, they kind of all this the same tree. You know what I mean? So I'm pretty sure they was kind of being coached up the same. However, some things is just a little different. And the reason why, this is another reason why, a clue why I say this. When I was at Dunbar and played underneath for Coach Badham coached underneath for Coach Wade. He coached underneath for Coach Wade when they won one of them titles, the national championships. The Muggsies and the Reggie Lewises and the Reggie Williams and the Wingates, all that's when Coach Badham. But he always had this thing about cutting your hair. If you wanted to be on the team, you gotta cut your hair. If you had braids, bush. You had braids, you had to wear your hair out in a bush. And it had to be neat come game day. He ain't gonna let you play. Excuse me. He will not let you play. You understand me? He will not let you play. But me doing my reading and researching things, all that come all the way back from Coach Earl Banks. Yes, it comes back from Coach Banks from Morgan. Coach Banks from Morgan, to the same name Sugarcane, from Sugarcane, Coach Wade, from Coach Wade, Coach Badham, and probably so on and so forth, right? So I'm reading it and I'm smiling and laughing at the same time. I'm like, man, this was crazy. Well, let me carry on, because we're gonna talk about Coach Banks later on, right? So now, mind you, these are all the coaches and things that people they had into Coach Wade, right? Coach Wade, now he the leader of the. Now he has the ranks. Now Coach Wade coached what, 10 years down at Dunbar? He coached 10 years down at Dunbar. 10 years down there. 3 national championships. Maybe, what, 8 or 9? I don't even want to go there as far as, because we're going to get to that in another video, is achievements, right? But what I wanted to stop at, I'm stopping right here, and I'm coming live from TazTv, and I'll talk to you later. Holla.